Hey everyone, how you doing? It's Imran and it's Wednesday and we are Web Squadron. How are you all doing? I hope you're all doing very, very well. Ooh, let me just rearrange my seat a little bit. Sorry about that. Today's live chat could be quite a lively one or quite a depressing one. It all depends on what you guys want to talk about. Okay, I haven't got any major topics to cover other than I am going to be doing more elemental videos, and I just recorded one looking at the new elemental AI for the Flexbox container. I've got that video coming out on Friday, and I hope you, hey friendly girl, how are you doing? And I hope you like the video we put out today, that Mark Harris worked on, which was the uploading of images to your media library, and it converts it into WebP. And I love that. I love that. Hey, Imran M, Sasha, Dave, Dan. I love that code snippet because, I mean, okay, it's not perfect. Okay, we've got to be honest here. If you've got existing images, you've got 1,000 images in your media library and you never bothered converting them, they're going to stay unconverted. They're going to be huge PNG or JPEG images. That's just the way it is, unless you manually do it or you use a third-party plugin like, Smush, Optimal, EWW, something like that. Hey, Andrea, how are you doing? Not seen you here for a long time. But if you are adding in any new images, then that code snippet converts it into WebP and it removes the original PNG and JPEG. Now, Mark has refined the code, so if you want to leave the original image in your media library as well, he's going to allow that. So the code's being slightly tweaked. Okay, the code is being tweaked. So improved is probably the better word. So if you've got like a directory website and you've put everything in WebP, but the client is allowing anyone out there to upload images because it's a directory website, right? You upload your logo, your images, and your gallery. People do not listen. You say to them, make sure your images are not that big, but they send, like, you say we need a logo, and they send an image that's like that, massive. They don't really listen, do they? So the fact that this will convert it into WebP for you on the fly, super, super good. Hey, Maddie, do you know something, Dave? I was going to look at it last week and then I didn't. Do you know why? Do you know why, Dave? I went in to try it out and I got that message saying you've got to upgrade because I've used up all of my AI credits. Whenever I've done videos, Dave, right? I've used up the credits. So I had no credits. I've had to go on and sign up like I think it's $29 a year, something like that. $27, $28, $29 a year. Thank you, One Piece. This was only £7, by the way, from Primark. £7 official t-shirt. Pretty cool, right? So 29 quid just so I could go in and do the elemental AI. So if you guys want to donate money, go and donate money. Anyway, hey, I'm okay, Maddie. I'm okay. I mean, yeah, I have to be honest. Yesterday, every so often you get a battering online, and if anyone is part of the bricks community, Jamie Marsland did a video. He's doing a series of videos about different page builders, and he struggled with bricks. Okay, someone took a copy of that or a snippet of it, put it on bricks without letting Jamie know. Everyone jumped in. Some other people jumped in as well in a very negative way. I went in and said, look, just ease off, right? Let's not make it personal. Let's not ridicule and make it personal, because the attacks were becoming very, very personalized, okay? And as soon as I did that, loads of people jumped on me. Well, not loads, a few, and one in particular, who the minute I say anything, even though I did not mention that person's name or even address them, they have to come in and start, and all of that. And they said a few things where they say, I play the victim card, I do this, I tell all of you Do what you want to do, build it how you want to build it. Don't follow the rules, don't follow the standards. And they felt that is just totally wrong. I'm going to defend myself by saying I do talk about standards. I do talk about, clamp and accessibility and stuff like that, but I don't go to the nth degree. And the reason I don't go to the nth degree is because that standard that lots of people talk about is not set in stone, right? It's not set in stone. So if you want to break the norm to do what you want to do, to help you do and achieve what you want to do, then just do it. And I feel like that we don't have a written law that says you've got to build this way, do we? Now, I know that I'm guilty of not using BEM, class names and all of that. And I know that loads of people love using that. I don't always go crazy for it. Is it wrong that I don't use it? Not really, because if I'm building the website or it's for a client, we kind of know what we're doing. And a classic example I have is when I started learning structured query language, SQL, for data analysis and all of that back in 2003. Everyone, when they do their query, and by the way, WebRiser, I'm going to get onto your question in a moment. When I get onto, when people do SQL, has anyone here done SQL? They always write like this, don't they? There's a slant. You start with your select, then you start with your select here, then your from is here, then your inner join is here, or outer join, then your on is there, then you might have like group by, and your code starts to do this a bit. It kind of moves like this. It slants away, but it's always jagged. I always did things with a left align. So select, tab, boom, from, tab, boom, inner, tab, boom, join, whatever, on, tab, boom. So when you looked at the code, you instantly saw it for what it was. And whenever I trained people from 2003 until 2000 and, let me get this right, 21, I taught them my way, but I told them use what you want to use. And they were always shown how developers like to write SQL in a slanted way. Every single person who I showed preferred my way. And you know why? Because everyone does the slant because they're told you got to do it like that. But when you want to very quickly from afar look at code and get it, oh, I can see where the join is. I can see where the group is. I can see where the criteria is. My way, it jumps out at you. And that's and it's like saying you don't have to follow one way of doing things. Right, let's just go on to what points that are coming on. Dave says, yeah, there's one thing scary about social media and content. You're bound to. Do you know what, Dave? It's like it's just a lot of the toxicity is unwarranted. And I think that's the thing. A lot of it is unwarranted. By the way, if anyone wants to join the live chat, you can do. Friendly Girl says the attention span gets shorter and shorter. People care less and less about details and nuances. And the result is either people don't care. Yeah, do you know what? Just, I just say, it's, there's always, I keep using the analogy of the painter, right? I used to work with someone. If he found out you were decorating at home and you were not using brushes, he got really like uptight. And every time he did, I'd be like, but you're not doing the painting. It's not your house. You're not there. If they want to use a roller, a pad, or a spray, get over it, right? Get over it. WebRiser says, do you also offer hosting for clients? Okay, so I used to, because obviously it was a revenue income stream. And then I've eased back off that because I got fed up of maintaining hosting issues. I'm a web designer. I want to do web designing. I want to develop solutions. I want to create things that sing and dance. Do I really want to sit there sorting out your MX and your text records for your emails? Psh, it's boring. I don't want to get into that. Do I want to sort out your SSL certificate? No, I want the hosting to just sort that out for you. Is it easier to sell a website, include hosting? Well, are you going to manage it? Are you going to sort out all the technical issues? I would let the client, I let the client buy the domain and the hosting. So if I drop dead, they're okay, right? If something happens to me or we fall out, we can go our separate ways. If I own the domain and the hosting and we fall out, confrontational, I've got to transfer this, transfer that. What if they don't pay and then money goes out and then I'm chasing them and blah, 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 blah. It can get messy. I'm not saying don't do it. I've had enough of hosting kind of solutions. Video boy, what are your thoughts about Brick's future pricing? I think it's about time. I think it was right of them to do it. I'm surprised they didn't do it sooner. What I find hilarious though is that Elementor introduced their price change about 2 weeks ago, right? From the $59 and the $99, the Essentials plan and all that. And everyone kicked off. And loads of people were then saying, you got to go to Bricks, you got to go to Bricks, which there's nothing wrong with that. Bricks have now changed things, rightly so, but no, a lot of people aren't whinging about it. And I just feel like there's like a bias. And I actually think that Bricks should have increased their price ages ago. And hey, Andrew, and I think they needed to have done it to, what's the word? God, I can't think of it. For the life of the business, I can't think of the term now. For the life of the business, they've got to generate income. Because if you keep doing lifetime, people buy it, and then that's your income train. And if suddenly the amount of people buying dips, they're still going to use it, but you make no income from them. So by them moving towards an annual lifetime plan, not lifetime plan, annual licenses for single or 3 licenses and all of that, it makes total sense. But I am surprised they didn't actually go earlier. And they've announced it after Black Friday as well. And I think that's quite clever marketing from Thomas, to be honest. He's basically saying, we're not going to do a Black Friday deal, right? No, we're not doing that. But you want to get a bit more, or you want to continue using it. No, wrong. I've said the words wrong. New users don't want to use it. You got to pay a little bit different. Everyone else, you're grandfathered in, all right? So don't worry. Hey, John Sinaides, how you doing? Hey, Mark Harris, how you doing? By the way, don't forget, if anyone wants to join in, you can do. Hey, Mark Ware, hope you're all doing. Yeah, well, it's not necessarily longevity, really, because you could almost argue that, let's say Thomas said right now, we're not going to do any more developments or updates for a year. Bricks could still last out for the year. I think it's more about do you know what? I cannot get the business acumen, the words in my head. It's the investment in the business for them to kind of not only pay themselves for the work they do, but also invest in other solutions, other developers, other support systems, whatever, in taking Bricks up a notch. Well, the thing is, Dave, I actually got, so I put out my video and Elemental got in touch with me to clarify something. And I then had to make a correction on my YouTube video yesterday. Anyone who is currently grandfathered into the Essential, when Elemental do a new feature, you won't miss out on all of the new features. Some new features will be for advanced upwards. Some new features will still be in the Essential. So I think it's a little bit case of like, what do you get and don't you get? Don't really know. But I mean, to be honest though, Elemental could literally have done 2 things. I think when I think about it more, because I really did think hard about it, they could have said the Essential plan now goes from $59 to $99. They could have just done that. Boom. There's now a straight up like price jump in a way. They could have done that. I mean, Bricks single license, I believe, is $79, which is quite good. They could have done that, but I think what they've said is 59 with some limitations. By the way, I'm not defending them. It's just clarifying, talking it out. 59 with some limitations. 99 gets you 3 license without the limitations. But, hey, yeah. I mean, I would like to think in future that they'll probably let me know before so that I can put out a video prior to clarify rather than all the noise. I'm not saying I have the answers, but I have had quite a few people come back to me privately and say they wish that someone like me, and when I say someone like me, I don't mean I say that wrong. I don't mean like me. I mean someone had done a video to put it out there. Because last week when we all was it last week? I can't remember. It was last week, wasn't it? We all got an email out the blue. You know, it wasn't even like pre-warned. I didn't have any pre-warning. We just got an email out the blue going, here's the change. And in hindsight, it'd be far better that even if you are going to do that, you're going to put an email out, you actually have a video, you know, like 1 minute, 2 minute video, 3 minute video, 20-minute video, just whatever video, just to kind of clarify kind of what I did yesterday. And Elementor did come back to me and go, oh, you do still get some of the features kind of thing. Yes, excellent, Mark Ware. Well done, well done. Do you know what? For me, this is a little bit of a brilliant game changer now. Do you know how many times I have like, you know, I'm going to do a tutorial. Oh, I've got my images. Oh, I've got to go through bulk resize. Bulk resize is really, really quick. But if you can remove the need for you to now go to Edge or wherever, because it doesn't work very well with Chrome. No, Safari. It doesn't work well with Safari. In Chrome and Edge, it does. You can convert to WebP. And if you can just bung emails in like that, and it converts them, job well done. Right? Job well done. Excellent. Quick. Oh, damn it. I was going to try. I was trying to get Mark on just as he was drinking and the cup went down.
Morning or afternoon.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'll pop in and say hello.
Yeah. Video Boy says, are you diabetic? Am I diabetic? I mean, my skin does look quite yellow with the light. I've pointed this out a few times. I don't get why. When I don't have these on, the light orangifies my skin a lot more than it normally does. It's still to do with the lighting. I was borderline diabetic in 2012, and then I dropped close to 4 stone in like 6 months, and all I did was move from full fat Coke to Coke Zero. That's literally all. I didn't go to the gym. I didn't have time to do any exercise. I really didn't. I was working all the time. I literally just was like, right, I'll cut out chocolate, and because when you're at work in an office, you have a chocolate bar in the morning, you have another one at lunch kind of thing. You know, you just sit and eat. And full fat Coke, I was drinking about 4 or 5 cans of full fat Coke. I don't know why I say full fat Coke. Normal Coke, the red Coke, the devil Coke, the devil's drink, the red Coke. That's just drink that. Cut that down, and the weight just plummeted off. Believe me, I was weeing like a fountain. When you drop weight, you wee more because you're losing a lot of the weight. It's not through your butt. That's a misconception. You're actually weeing it out more. Because, fact, when you eat a lot of carbohydrates, you hold onto the water. You're absorbing the water, and that's so. Just wanted to let you all know that.
Where's this conversation going?
I know. We have gone from WebP to water weight. No,
Actually, there was a question in a quiz. Not sure which quiz it was. I don't know if it was, and it was about the atmosphere of which planet smelling like farts. And the answer, quite appropriately,
it's not Uranus, is it? Is it? I thought it was Neptune. I don't know. I might be wrong now. Is it Uranus?
yeah, that's what I remember it as being. I'm probably wrong now, but yeah,
It's
there you go. That's my wisdom for the day, everybody.
what is Uranus anyway? Not yours.
What?
I mean, but what is it? A Roman god? Is it a Greek god? Is it a Roman god? What is Uranus? Because they obviously named it. What is it?
Apart from Earth, I think they're all named after.
I'm not sure. I mean, Uranus or whatever it is. Anyway,
Afternoon, Dave.
Just looking down some of the questions down here. Zaki says, John has a question there. I'm just going to quickly pull it. Is there any way to automatically center elemental horizontal tabs on mobile when you click on them? Currently, you have to drag the rest of the tabs to show up. Right. So if you've got Elementor tabs and you've got the horizontal scrolling, then it will scroll. If you want to center them, I did a video on that where it basically stacks them all into the screen. So there is a video. There is a video I've got on that. Just do it. Just do a search for Elementor tabs mobile. Those 3 words, and there's a bit of code that you will find there. Zaki says it's methane. I don't care. It stinks. Whatever you want to call it. John says you're right. Uranos means sky in Greek. Really? So I wonder why we call your butt Uranus then. Anyway, sky high. Friendly girl at the top of a sugar artificial. Oh, sorry, we've gone back onto artificial sugars. Right. So I'm gonna say big thanks to Mark for the WebP code snippet, which
Even if you did miss one of the features in your video.
No, I mean it's of all the snippets that come out a lot from the past and now, there's only like a handful that you really call game changers that can be useful, whether you're a WooCommerce site or appointment site or a bland basic site. And when you look at the code, and obviously a lot of it's been done with ChatGPT and then honing in and fine tuning it, you almost kind of go, it wouldn't surprise me if that is what things like, SiteGround Optimizer. I don't use their optimization plugin. It's quite rubbish. Don't use it. I bet that's what they've probably got in there. And I'm surprised that sometimes I wonder, like, why has no one else done this before? Do you have any thoughts on that? Like, I know it's because we feel a bit more like, wow, let's get some really good, juicy stuff done. But sometimes I go, why has no one else ever done this before? Why is it like
We've done it for free.
There is that, because a lot of them go and create a plugin, don't they? And then they have a pro version, whatever. And you can almost say, why are we not doing that? Maybe because we're quite stupid, but also I think it's because of the maintenance. Also,
it's not only that. I'd feel a bit of, yes, we're using AI for a lot of it, and it's nothing anybody else can't do.
Exactly.
We're just, I guess, highlighting what you can do with AI rather than producing code snippets.
Exactly, yeah. Which is why hopefully one day we'll create a framework code snippet or something that you can use so you don't have to go and buy other products. But hey, that's way down the line kind of thing. But that would be quite hilarious if we were ever able to create
of frameworks. I did enjoy the video about Paul's Black Friday tech stack.
The one from Paul.
Yeah. So he bought Core Framework with the Bricks add-on, Bricks Maven, and Bricks Extras. I've got 2 out of 3 of those already. Not that I ever use them, but it's just future proofing. But yeah, there's a lot to like in Core Framework, especially now they've added the right-click UI pop-up thing.
Right, Jake the dog, or Manoa, if I get his name right. So he's got a submission from somebody that is not related to my site services. You got the message twice. Should I ignore it? Well, you have to make a decision on that. On what do you think? Look at their email. If their I can tell you now, right? If the email ends in seznam, seznam.cz, ignore it. The amount of spammers and people that claim to be big companies, they always seem to have a seznam.ck email. I don't know why. It's very common. Other influencers get those kind of emails too. Just look at the email. Look at the just look at whatever it is.
My microphone sound weird? Do I sound weird to you?
No, there was a few moments when you were talking where it just dropped in and out for a split second, but that literally just could be your beard. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, you.
But yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm just ending for Minoa, Jake the dog. Look, Depends on the content of the email. Well, I mean, was it someone saying, "Hey, I'm single. I really need your help. Please help me out," and they send you a lovely photo of them blowing a kiss into the air or whatever? Then yeah, it's real. Go for it. Um, Or maybe
I
it's
mean,
someone from a royal
Google,
family and
Google,
you've
Google.
inherited like $20 million, and yeah, why
Yeah.
not? What have you got to lose?
I mean, if it's really spammy, you've obviously got Google Capture, Cloudflare Turnstile, H Capture. You can add. You've got honeypot fields.
Yeah.
Not
Or,
perfect, but all helps.
and if it's an elemental form, most likely the IP address has come through. You just copy it, paste it into like your search browser, and it will then tell you that this has come from.
There's a database of it's. Hang on.
And it
It's
might say it's come from cell 22H in a particular prison, which is another warning that you might want to watch
yeah,
out for.
There's abuseipdb.com, which is really handy.
I'm scared to open that website now.
No,
Just
no, it's just you just pop an IP address in it, and it sort of gives you a rundown
I
of
te-
other people have reported it.
I'll tell you what, are you one of those people where when you get a phone call and you don't recognize the number, and then like I then copy the number and go to Google and go, who is this? And then it
Oh,
kind of
all the time.
I know. Yeah, and I love that. I love that feature because like often it then tells you I tell you what, it's a bit like Sky. I always get a phone call from Sky, and I'm never sure if it is actually Sky. And they go, right, can you confirm your name? And I then kind of give them a fake name and wait to see if they continue or, and 9 times out of 10 they do. And I go, great, just hang up on you then. Mark Ware. Now I don't use Cadence. And this is quite telling, Mark. You know where you've said there's plenty of vids on Elemental, but nothing for there are a few for Cadence, but let me tell you why. I've never done a Cadence video. You will see a Cadence video, but they're normally followed with an affiliate link. Hey, look, Cadence has got a new feature. Here's an affiliate link. Go and get it. Blah, 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 blah. There's a reason why you don't see a dedicated Cadence video. There are some. Most of them aren't in English. They're in a different language. I'll be very blunt there. But there are some. But I think it's very telling because I did look at Cadence. And if anyone here likes Cadence, good for you. I hated it.
Doesn't
I
Paul like it?
I think Paul did like it, but he's never done a video. He hasn't done much on it since.
What
I
did he use to build his bricks website? Wasn't Cadence, was it?
oh
Oh, I've got a call. Sorry.
oh yeah, go for yeah, no probs, no probs. I'll remove you. I'll chuck you out. Right. So I'll just kick Paul Mark out there for a moment. Yeah. I found Cadence really, really complex. Right. I found it. It was a bit like when you use Astra, there's a fair amount of settings, but you can fly through them. When I tried out Cadence, it was like so many different settings. I was like, I lost like an hour and I was nowhere past the. I was like going, what's this and what's that and what does that do? And it became so complex. I thought, forget this. This does not feel intuitive to me. That doesn't mean it's not intuitive to you or anyone else. So I think that if there isn't anyone out there doing Cadence videos, maybe someone should take the mantle up and go and do it. Mark, where you could do it. So if someone wants to do that, do it. But I didn't like it. I really didn't like it. Dave Dunn makes a good point for block paste people, Gutenberg, who like all of that stuff. Cadence is great for them. I just found it loads of settings, not intuitive. And I felt like, and here's the reason why I don't really go into WordPress Gutenberg at the moment. I'm so used to being able to on the fly do stuff and add things into a website. And really personalize it for what the client wants. I always find Gutenberg a little bit too geometric for my liking, a bit too. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just I like to have a little bit more kind of thing. Yeah. Ooh, let me just rearrange my leg. I've got a hot water bottle behind me, kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, when I first started using Elementor, I went to Astra first, and this I think this was a bit of a mistake I made because loads of people were saying use Astra, and at first I thought, yeah, okay, and then I realized after 3 websites, no, I'm going to use Hello because I'm using the Elementor header footer template. Why am I using Astra's? Because it was very basic for what it had. And then you end up using some third-party plugins and stuff as well. It's like, no, just use Elementor Pro with Hello, sorry. So that's why I went to that. So Jake the dog, purchase from Amazon. Can I mark this as spam as it's not good? The thing is though, Jake, did you make that purchase? If you didn't make that purchase, then it is a spam because it's expecting. Don't click the link because it wants you to click the link. It wants you to log in. They then take your login and then they'll go and buy stuff or do stuff or whatever, right, on your account. So be very careful of what you click. Yeah, exactly, Dave. And also, there was a load of videos at that time which were promoting Astra and Ocean WP. I have worked with so many clients. They thought they could build their website themselves and they used Elementor and Ocean WP. And then they have problems, problem after problem after problem. And when I say to them, why did you use Ocean WP? They then say, because the tutorials told us to use it. So that's why I very much just stick to using Hello. Right, back over here to Rob McDonald. Is it possible to sort loop items by a custom field? Good question, because I can't remember. The only reason I'm saying that, I might open up a website. I'll have to check it later. I'm sure I was looking at this. So this is where I was looking at some repeater field stuff. I'm trying to create a repeater field where you don't have to use ACF or pods or jet engine or any of that. Just create one on the fly without using a third-party plugin. I'm pretty sure I was looking into sorting by a custom field, and I don't think I got there, but I need to re-explore that. I was looking at it last week. My brain goes very fuzzy from day to day because I'm jumping from one thing to another at the moment. Right, Jake the dog. So when you say they made the purchase, who made the purchase? The client made the purchase. Because if the client made the purchase, nothing to do with you. When you say they made, who's they? Who is they? They is not them, is it? Yes, this is what Dave is saying. This is what Dave, yeah. And this is where I feel like I didn't crack it because I was trying to create I was trying to do it in a way where you don't have to like mess around with any funky coding or go into the developer stuff. I need to recheck because I'm sure I got somewhere with it. But by the way, I'm trying to, if anyone's got any code for this, can you just bung it over to me, please? And I'll get a video done. I want to create a repeater field in your WordPress post or custom post type, wherever, where you're not using ACF Pro. So you might have ACF, which you can get for free, but you need to have Pro or Jet Engine or something else, method box fields and all of that, if you want to do repeater fields. With ACF standard, can we create a repeater field? Because I've got the code to show that in Elementor, but it's the initial step because sometimes I feel it's really unfair that you got to pay a license because all you want is a repeater field. And I know other people are going to go, yeah, but you got to pay it if you want it. Yeah, I get that. I'm not saying don't pay. But the whole point of why I like to dabble with code snippets is, can we give you something back? That means you can do something extra without having to pay for something else. So Jake says, the client made the purchase, talking about a return, even though I do not, but they seem to be mentioned. Do you know what? It's nothing to do with you. Jake, this is nothing to do with you. This is between the client and Amazon. Let them go and sort it out. By the way, why are you getting involved in it? Why are you getting involved into that? Drickus Martins, how you doing? Will I be making a Crock-a-Block jet engine tutorial on how to build a functional multi-vendor business directory where vendors can subscribe? Right, so 3 people have asked me to do some further Crock-a-Block jet engine videos. One of them is a, God, I've forgotten now. Hold on. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Where an Airbnb site using jet engine, similar to an Airbnb. Another person has asked for a full-blown like map estate agency. It's not Airbnb, but slightly similar. So it'll be like a similar site. And then we've got this one, which is a multi-vendor. Now, in this scenario, you're probably going to have to use Dokkan. I don't know. I might be wrong. Maybe you can do it all with jet engine and Crock-a-Block. Maybe. I don't really know. There's a reason why I've not done. Yeah, I would ignore it, Jake. Manoa, it's not your problem. It's between the client and you. It's not your problem, right? You know, if your neighbor says, hey, I just bought some milk, the milk does not taste right. It's not for you to go to the shop. It's not for you to check the milk. It's not for you to drink it. It's not your problem, okay? Nothing to do with you. So the problem is, Drickus, is that the other 2 people that asked me, they're not going to pay for me to research, find a solution, work up how I'm going to do the video, record and edit, because it could be the Crock-a-Block series I did, which was 8 videos, right? It was one big video, but it was actually done over 8 days. It was actually 9 days. It wasn't 8, it was 9 days worth of research, investigating, recording, editing, re-recording bits, stitching it all together, uploading. 9 days. Crock-a-Block did not pay me. No one paid me for that. And that's when I really was like, I think that's the last time I ever do that as a freebie. So maybe Drickus, I can't say for certain. I've got a backlog of stuff I need to be doing. I seriously have. But what I said to the other 2 people that said, okay, can you now do a video about step by step from start to finish on how we can do like an Airbnb site? I was like, okay, let's say I spent 6 to 7 days testing, researching, working out how I'm going to do it. Then I record it, then I edit it, and all of that. Are you going to pay for 7 days? And basically, what they said to me was they would pay enough to cover 2 hours. And I was like, that ain't happening. It's just not happening. What I would say, Drickus, is you do make a good point, and it's not the first time I've been asked about a multi-vendor site. The problem I've got is that even though I do the live chat, I have got other work on, other client work or other projects and other stuff I'm working on. And then I've got to do like videos for the Elementor website course. I've got to do my WooCommerce and LMS videos and some other extra content I want to give away for free to the course members. They all take time, and it's what I call non-compensatory time. You do it, you hope something good comes off it. We get more subscribers, we get more people join the course, we get more people following us, spreading the love, joining the group and all of that. But because it's non-compensatory, it sometimes is second to paid work. And then when we get some requests, I literally have to kind of go, not happening. Like I now don't, I very rarely, very, very rarely ever do a video where someone goes, can you tell me how to do X? Before I used to go, yeah, okay, cool, go and record a video. Only if I really feel like that solution is brilliant. Everyone needs to know about this solution. Otherwise, I kind of now go, I might steer them in the right place or tell them, but I'm not going to bust a gut to do a special dedicated video because your time gets sucked up, all sorts. And I'm now trying to spend more time with the family in the evening and stuff like that. So really, really long answer. I'll consider it, but it is one of those like I have to think long and hard about how much time do I put in to do it. Right, just checking out some of the questions coming in. Cadence and Blocksy are a little bit, yeah, they are. They are. I prefer Hello. Astra. If I wasn't going to use Hello, I'd probably use Astra. Astra has quite a bit of stuff that you don't actually need. I'd never use Ocean WP. If you want to use it, go for it. There's a lot of promotion for Blocksy and Cadence. A lot of that is due to affiliate commissioning, which I've got affiliate links for Rank Math and Elemental. So who am I to talk about affiliate? But what I don't do is really forcefully promote it. So what I don't do is say, you got to use Blocksy and here's the link and you got to go. I don't do any of that because I don't believe it. I don't go crazy for. Look, for me, it's a case of if you're going to invest in Elemental and all of that, then surely you're going to be building out your website to be what you want it to be. I mean, it's a little bit pointless if you just go and get a theme that comes pre-built. And you could use Elemental to modify it, but it's almost a bit like, well, it's pre-built. You obviously liked how it looks, even though you're going to have different colors and images, which might change your feelings towards the theme or the template. But I always feel like if I'm going to build a website out and I want drag and drop facility, why would I want to go for Cadence or Blocksy or loads of stuff like that? But, each to their own, right? I mean, remember, it's just my subjective feelings. Doesn't mean you follow it. Remember that, okay? Never ever blindly follow what someone says or does, right? It's because it's all hocus pocus at the end of the day. Yeah, Michael, I mean, I think Gutenberg is getting better. I think it's got a bit of a while to go yet. Don't forget to smash the like button. I think it's got a while to go. I think it needs more development. Don't forget anyone can join if they want to join. And I don't get sucked into the whole Gutenberg yet. I thought, in fact, this time last year, I thought I might be doing some extra stuff on Gutenberg around about now. I did say December 2023. It was about November last year. I said next year Christmas time I think I'll be looking at it more. However, Bricks has moved on. Elemental is massively moved on. No matter what you want to say, the whole loop grid and all of that, loads more features and stuff, grid as well and other stuff. The need for me to go Gutenberger isn't there, really isn't there. And I think there has to be a seismic change. There has to be something where all of a sudden, if I ever found out that Elemental was shutting shop, right, I probably would see that as a big warning, right? If Elemental went like that, would I go all in on Bricks? Maybe, but it might be the catalyst that makes me go full on Gutenberg. Because if Elemental went like that, what's there to stop Bricks and Breakdance and all the others, right? If something major happened with the not the economy or it can't be related to your geography with the market because that's unpredictable. But if something happened that caused Elemental to just crash, then I might consider going all in on Gutenberg to satisfy what I want to do. Yes, Drickers, how do you share the way you do business with clients? Basically, what tools do you use to collect content? So I like them to email me in Word their content, right? I like the images to be sent via WeTransfer so I can download them all in one go. I don't want Google Drive stuff, right? Here's why I don't like having content in Google Drive. They give you a document and they've got stuff in there, and then you download it, and then they go and update it, and then the link has the latest version. You got to go back in. I prefer to know that when you email me the images in WeTransfer, or you email me the content, I know that's the latest version. I've got that latest version in my hands now, right? And I can have some control over that. Keywords, all of that. I like things to be very systematic, and it means then I can pick the email up and put them in a folder. Everything is in one place, right? I can be anywhere I want. I can check my email. Oh, it's come through. I can see it. Boom, deal with it, reply. I don't like it to be in like Slack or Google Drive or here or there or wherever. When it comes to the website is live, if we are doing analytics, well, then you got Google Analytics, and then you got Google Data Studio, data reporting. It very much depends on what they want, and how often they want it as well. So it's dependable on the client at the end of the day. What would you do in that situation if Elementor closes shop with your clients? Well, quite frankly, it's pretty simple, right? This one's pretty simple, Shaquille. If Elementor closes shop and you had 10 websites that are working absolutely fine, you could, if you want, disable all future updates. WordPress update, Elementor update, WooCommerce update, PayPal update, you might disable all of them. So that website is as good as what it is. That then means that if you go in and modify, you still can, because you've not updated. Things are now not out of sync, right? And for the next 3 or 4 years, it might be like you can still update stuff, you can still rearrange and build, drag and drop, but it's set at a point in time and you don't ever update. Fine, you do that. Or you say to the clients, you literally say to the client, we may need to rebuild your websites, and there's a cost for that. You don't do it for free. Now, some of you are going to say, but the client could turn around and go, what? You told me to use Elementor, your idea, they've gone bust. I'm not paying more. Let me give you an analogy, right? You need to get a gas boiler in your house, central heating. The boiler engineer goes, yeah, we recommend the Worcester Bosch or whatever, or the Valiant or something. And they go and install it, right? 10 years later, or whatever, that boiler is now no longer fit for purpose. Maybe the government have said you've got to have a certain standard. Maybe they've said you can't use gas central heating and you've got to use biomass or an outdoor heating system or whatever. You are going to have to go to an engineer now and get a different boiler fitted. You can't go back to your original boiler and go, well, you fitted that 10 years ago. Change it for free. No. You now need a new system. You now got to get a new system done, right? So if Elementor went, you have a choice of freezing the plugins, so nothing updates, no auto update, no WordPress update, blah, 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 blah. You can still add contents, add products, you can still do all of that. You just can't, you don't update anything, right? In terms of the plugins, I mean, and the theme. Or you tell them, we need to build out your site again. We need to build it out from scratch again. It'll be different. It'll be different plugins, maybe. It'll be a different compromise. And that's just how it rolls. Right, just checking it. Yeah, so Friendly Girl. I mean, by the way, Friendly Girl, I had a feeling someone would say this. I feel the feeling someone would say this. Because you are absolutely right. Vulnerability, security. This is where I would say try not to update anything. But yeah, you would have to keep on top of the fact that was there a vulnerability or something that meant your website was at risk. Benjamin got an email from Breakdance about lifetime deal stopping next year. I don't use breakdance. I think there's a few people that do. Is it worth switching from Elementor in terms of ease of speed? I've heard people say it's really good, but I have to be honest, okay? I'm never entirely sure of how honest they are, because a lot of people say, I hate Elementor, I'm going to use bricks. But I feel like they were always going to say they hate Elementor, right? So I don't know what the real life experience is. I've looked at breakdance, but I haven't had the urge. I've looked at it when it first came out, but I didn't have this burning urge to go, oh, I'm going to try that. And I'm yet to really speak to someone where I feel like I can properly trust their opinion of it. So I'll let other people answer that question there. Hey, Eden, sorry, I just saw you popped on a minute ago. How are you doing? Yep, so just going to quickly scroll down. Palav says, can you make a video on modern agency web design for 2024? Palav, I could say to you, make me a video on how to make a cake. I could say, make a video on how to design a suit. How about a video on how to build a modern house? The word modern is subjective, doesn't mean anything. What exactly is modern? In terms of agency website design, well, it depends on what do you offer. Do you build construction websites? Then your website should be black, grey, yellow. Do you build websites for dentists? Then your website might be mainly white, clean lines, right? Is your website for a vet? Then it's probably going to be a bit of white, bit of grey, bit of green, lots of animal, big animal. You got to have big animal pictures because people love animals, right? Do you just offer a range of services? What do you offer? How many people are there? Is it you? Is it a team of 10? Do you all have profile avatar pictures or not? Or are you going to pretend and just have Lottie animations and stuff like that? So there is no right or wrong answer for a modern agency website. It's all about what do you want to show. And if you are a web designer, and I'm not being critical here, Palav, but I'm going to make a point. If you are a web agency, you should be able to build your website. Because if you can't build your website, you should not be building a website for anyone else. That is really brutal, right? That's really brutal, isn't it? But you shouldn't be asking anyone else to give you tips. You need to go away, do the research, experiment, play, build, mold, whatever you want, and work out the best thing to do. Leonardo, how are you doing? How big is your team for web development? Well, there's two of us in the business. We have a team of other people we rely on sometimes, but when it comes to web design, I do all the web design because the clients see me. I'm the face of the business, right? They see me, they talk to me. I devise the solutions, I devise the problems, right? So if I'm going to tell them this is how we're going to do it, I'm not going to hand them off to someone else. Plus, I only take on so many projects a week. It might be one a week. It might be one every 2 weeks. It might be that I go, no, I've got a load of videos I want to do. So I'm not taking on any clients for 2 more weeks or 3 weeks or whatever. I control that, okay? So that the clients know that when they get their website built and they get an email from me and I have a video call with them, there is no middleman woman, right? There is none of that. There is none of that. I just subcontracted. Oh, we said you were going to do your website, but the website's built wrong. Oh, I'm really sorry about that. Oh, well, I'll go back and speak to them. If I was a client, I'd be pissed off. I'd be like, hey, I thought I was working with you. Andrew, do you recommend citing emails with I don't. A lot of people say no, Andrew. I don't have a problem with that. If anyone wants to join the live chat, you can. I don't have a problem with that. SiteGround, 123, even if the client's with GoDaddy, I didn't tell them to go to GoDaddy. They went and signed up with GoDaddy. If the domain and the email and the hosting is there, fine. Just roll with it. You just got to roll with it. Websites are like book covers, Friendly Girls says. People have to have familiarity. You're right. You're absolutely right. Eden says, and this is where I was talking about, you got to be able to do what you preach, kind of thing. Um, the thing is, though, Eden, I bet you could teach yoga, even though you don't do yoga. But I bet you do yoga. I've got this feeling like at lunchtime, you go out, you get your sandwich from Subway, and you drink from Costa, and you're sat there, and you're literally like, and then you have your drink, but you're doing all your poses as well while you're at it. Obviously, with your re-incubate camo as well. By the way, Eden, are there any more Black Friday deals going on with re-incubate camo? If there are, please drop in any coupon codes if you want. I'm using re-incubate camo right now. This is my wife's old iPhone 12 mini. 4K quality. I know you're probably not seeing full-blown 4K quality. Don't forget, I'm using EV Mux to do my live stream, which then goes over to YouTube. And then obviously the buffer gets hit a little bit because you're passing through different gateways to stream. But 4K quality. Hey, John, how are you doing? Digital ad, best way to optimize Elemental. Right, really simple, my friend. Go to our YouTube channel. You know where it is. Do a search for Page Speed 2023. There are 2 videos. One of them is 25 minutes. Another one is 4 minutes. They're the same thing. You watch whichever one you want. You want the full hardcore step-by-step process, you watch the 25-minute one. You just want the like, do this, do this, do this, do that. And then you go, okay, I'll do whatever, and I can work it out. You watch the 4-minute quick tips video, Page Speed 2023. The 2023 is one word, but it's a number, numerical. 2023, which surprisingly is the current calendar year. But page speed is what you got to do, right? WebP your images, custom load your fonts, explicit image width and height. Think about your content. Think about videos and sliders. Particular plugins, code snippets. Do not fetch Google Fonts. So I'm not going to go through all of that step by step because that's what we actually have, right? We have a video for that. So please go and watch that. Do you know what, Eden? I don't know why, but I have this feeling that I have this feeling like I reckon that if you had a Subway, you'd go for a chicken tikka on either Italian bread or Italian herbs and cheese. How close am I, Eden? What is your favorite Subway? In fact, what is everyone's favorite Subway? Hey, Artif, how you doing? My favorite Subway, I either go for salad or a foot long. I used to go for Italian herbs and cheese bread, but now I just go for the standard boring Italian because it's about 50 calories less. Like that makes a big difference. I go for double chicken tikka, double cheese, jalapeno peppers, and mayonnaise. I don't have any too much salad, literally. Chicken, cheese. Oh, John. Sorry, John. I just realized you were there. So when I have a Subway, chicken tikka, cheese, mayonnaise, and jalapenos, and that's it. Do you ever have a Subway?
No.
Don't you? Any reason why not? Some people don't like it. They just don't like it. But is it?
My son has tried to persuade me before, but to me, they're okay. Don't get me wrong. I'm just not a takeaway fan. I just don't get it. But do you see a teeth question about your cam for recording?
Yeah, it's an iPhone. Yeah, RT, this is my I used to use an iPhone XR. But then I could only get 1080, and then Eden let me know that now you can get 4K quality with Reincubate Camo. So then I literally just said to my wife, right, I've upgraded your phone, give me your old phone. I just did it because I handle all the contracts and stuff. So this is her
Does that
iPhone.
make a difference? Will that make a difference with the 5G phones that are coming out?
Not really. No, you're still only going to get up to 4K. So with the iPhone, anything iPhone 11 onwards, you get 4K. But I believe Reincubate Camo did an update a couple of weeks ago which means that even the iPhone XR can now get your full 4K. I'm just going to make a comment though. Eden says we don't get chicken tikka in America. I thought you were in London, Eden. Are you in America? I thought you were in London. I didn't know that. Alex says, have you done a video on staging websites? I have done. I have mentioned staging sites quite a few times, but I have also done a video where I said, here are the 5 plugins you do not need. Hello Dolly, obviously, Jetpack, Akismet, Nitro Pack, and I can't remember what the other one was. I can't remember now, but you don't need Jetpack, okay? Because sometimes when Elemental does an update or other plugins, Jetpack can bring your website down, and you got to remember, standard WordPress installations always come with Akismet. They always come with Jetpack because they're assuming you're not going to use a page builder. They're assuming you're just going to use the standard WordPress classic editor, right? Just like SiteGround Optimizer. But if you are going to use other page or theme builders, ditch them. They actually cause more problems than you need. Shaquille likes a meatball foot long. Imran M likes jalapenos. Atif is a veggie patty. Eden, I visited London a couple of times a year. This is why I thought you were in London, Eden, because the Reincubate office. I do believe that one day, if I ever get the chance, I'd love to come down to the Reincubate office just to kind of just have a bit of a sneak around and see what you've got going on there. Anyway, take care, Eden. Great to have you here.
Imran, does this mean that you're almost considering exiting Leicestershire to actually travel to London?
No. I can tell you now that I'm pretty sure in the near future, Elemental would like it if I start to attend worldwide events. They're always asking, and I keep going, I keep trying to put it off. By the way, I didn't have my first Subway until 2005. And Subway had been around a while, and I was put off. I was like, I can't be bothered. If I want a sandwich, I'll go and get a sandwich. I'll get what I want. And then I was in a meeting, and a couple of the people there, they were like, Imran, you got to come with us. I was like, no, I don't. And they literally made me go in. And I tell you what, it was probably the best sandwich baguette I've ever had. I was hooked, literally hooked. Just how lovely it was. Andrew has a chicken tikka or coronation. I'm not a massive fan of too much salad. What do you like, John? I always find like if I have too much salad on any sandwich, then I don't really taste the meat, and the texture of the meat gets absorbed by the lettuce and the cucumber and the tomato.
We're really getting with what time of the day is it? It's lunchtime and you're on food. Oh, heckers. I don't mind a salad depending on what the contents of the salad are. I spend a lot of time in Eastern Europe and I love the salads over there more than I do the UK ones. Confession, that's out the way now.
Yeah, and Alex, you do make a good point there. Jetpack was quite good for feeding back WooCommerce orders and stuff. However, if you set up WooCommerce, the admin or the people you've said in the WooCommerce settings, they'll get all those notifications anyway on their email. They'll get it all anyway. So I always feel like Jetpack is, whoa, look at that, snuck in like a proper ninja.
Whoa.
Morning.
How you doing,
Afternoon,
Martin?
evening.
How you doing, my friend?
I'm okay.
No,
I wrote my name as Imran Sadiq actually before I joined, and then I thought, no, he's not gonna let me in, so I had to change it.
Do you know why? I would have let you in. It would just confused everyone else, kind of thing. But no, with regards to Alex and Jetpack, I don't massively see the need for Jetpack. If the admin of the site or whoever you've said should receive notification of orders, you're always going to get emails. I'll tell you now, right? Whenever there's a course sold or whatever, the emails always come through. And if your payment gateway is like PayPal or Stripe or whoever, not only will you get an email from WooCommerce, you also get an email from the payment gateway. So you'll get one like seconds later that says PayPal has now gone through for XYZ, and here's what it was, or Stripe. So as long as you're getting emails, but I'm telling you now, Jetpack, 9 times out of 10, when an Elementor website's gone down because of an update, I say, have you got Jetpack? They go, yeah. I go, deactivate. So I'm not saying don't use it, Alex, because if you like it, keep it, but just watch
Can
out for it.
I highlight something here that Andrew's put out about emails and hosting?
Yeah, go for
I
it.
would always worry why a hosting provider is charging for email setup or anything like that when so many good quality host providers provide that free of charge. There
Yeah,
is a well-known brand that I've seen that will actually charge like £6 an email or something like that. And I question why anybody would want to have it separate. You want to make it easier for the client to access and to understand what you're building in case it gets, done whatever. I mean, many email host providers will provide you 100 emails free of charge on a very basic package. So
yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
that's my review.
I think there's a pro and a con. I like to just have the domain and hostings all together. Or the hosting together. I know some people like to keep it separate, and there's good reasons why. For simplicity, sometimes for the client, because I'm not going to be looking after the website going forwards or whatever, and I feel like they might get confused with where they go and what they do. If they get it all in one, I often push them to do that as well. But I do agree that I don't like it when like some companies start charging like £5 or £6 for email services or whatever, and but there's pros and cons for it. But I always like to keep things as simple as possible for my clients. Atif, do you have a preference with
I
emails
think it
being?
depends. I guess it
Yeah,
depends on the use case, really. If it's not something that's really heavily going to be used, it's not like you're going to have a real customer inbox that needs managing. It's just maybe a contact form on a site, and just need emails to come through. Then maybe I'll stick with the host. Otherwise, to be honest, most of the time, I do go for a separate host like Google Workspace or
yeah.
Zoho. To host the emails. And then for email marketing, it's interesting because I was actually really on the fence about the Black Friday deal for Brevo. They had a 50% off. And
Oh yeah.
I did actually end up going for it, but it was that. Well, I went for one thing. I'll tell you my one thing I did go for on the Black Friday was Thrive Desk. And they
Okay.
said they're going to bring email marketing into it. So I thought, okay, what's the point of paying for two things? Eventually it will come in. So let's see how
Yeah.
Thrive Desk goes.
I'll tell you, I don't know what it was, but I just decided Black Friday deal code snippets.
Yeah.
I joined in.
Nice.
No, you've done a good
Welcome.
thing. You've done a good
Awesome.
thing. You've done
Thank you.
Yes.
If you have any comments, suggestions, feedbacks, oh, this thing is so annoying, or I would really love this or that, always welcome. Always welcome.
I'll only send you one A4 page, mate. Don't worry about it.
Right, I'm just going to jump into Palab. So obviously, thanks to Mark Harris, we put out a new code snippet video for converting images into WebP. I'm not going to tell you to stop using Smush Pro or anything like that. This is between you and what subscription you're paying for it. You might want to test it out. For instance, go and grab one of your images, okay? Go and stick it into your media library, then check on the front end. What is the WebP size of that image? Do you still have a copy of the original PNG in the media library? So you're going to have duplicate, triplicated images. The code snippet actually stops the PNG, so you only have one, which I think that is really, really good. If you're running a directory and you're getting tons of images every day, not having that duplicate image is a big, big lifesaver. But I would say go and test it out. If you feel like your image loading speed is not that great, well, what you got to remember is, and this is why I don't like using third-party image compressors. I have used EWW, but that was only because I knew that website needed it because of the amount of images being added. When you're using a third-party plugin, some of them, what they do is they decide on the most appropriate image to load. So they decide based on the browser or device, do I load the PNG, the JPEG, or the WebP?
Oh wow, okay.
So because of that, there's going to be like a split second delay, but it very much also depends on how much they compress the image. I've seen some bits of kit where when I compared it to bulk resize photos.com, bulk resize was nearly half the size. But you were paying for like a premium image compressor. It was like, what's that all about? But I've tested, right? I'm telling you now, when Mark gave that code to test, I took an image, put it on. I then put that same image through bulk resize photos.com. Don't ask me how or why, but that code was either the same or a little bit better by 1 or 2 kilobytes than when bulk resize does.
Oh,
I don't know if
wow.
that was just pure luck. You know, there was one instance where it was 1 kilobyte worse. 1 kilobyte, you know, get over it, people.
Yeah.
You know, but I think that, like I said earlier, in terms of what I call game changer snippets, this is what I call a proper game changer in terms of speeding up your process. The only thing we can't do, and we're going to look into it, is it doesn't modify what you've already got. So you would have to go and use a third-party service, compress it, and then, you know, get rid of it.
What do you mean?
So at the moment, if you've got 1,000 images in your media library,
Oh, okay. It doesn't have what you already have. Okay.
yeah,
You can't do it, yeah.
and I'm
I
sure
think
there's
that would
going
be
to
separate. Yeah, I think that would be better as a separate like snippets
could
because
be.
you probably wouldn't want that to run all the time. It maybe just be something you'd want to press a button and it runs once.
Attaboy, that's exactly what I'm thinking of, really. It's just trying to get that to work. Because I actually tried looking into that ages ago as well, and I
Ah,
always found that I kept crashing the site. I got the white screen of death, you know, kind of thing all the time, which we don't get anymore now. You know, code snippets is a lot more secure and protected now. But I kept crashing my site out. Right. I am going to end the live chat in 2 minutes because
nice.
we've been live for 1 hour 11 and I want to get on with stuff. I'm just going to quickly run down. I don't think there's any burning major question at the moment. Except Friendly Girl says when you collect subscriptions in Elementor, mailing service, can you delete the data in Elementor? Well, as long as it's gone over to your MailerLite or MailChimp, yes. Because when you connect to a third party mailing list, when it comes in, it does 3 things. It either sends the email, then it stores it in email submission, elemental submissions, and then it sends it to your MailerLite, and John's nodding there. So it's already done, all of
I
them. So you can delete it. Yeah,
I've
you can
had a
stop loading it.
I've had a client who had the login side, but also had the bounces that were coming off some emails. She actually got a notification off SiteGround it was happening and a warning regarding it. Now, they were putting out 30,000 emails at a time, so
Wow.
quite a large number. But yeah, and it was one of the main customers. So we had to get onto it pretty fast to actually allow for the next set of emails to go out. And we also looked at the login files on that one to actually make sure that those logins were lower figures. And we seem to have this habit of forgetting that many site host providers back things up all
Yeah.
the time,
Yeah.
which can
Absolutely.
cause us problems. So
Absolutely.
if you're having problems with the size of your hosting, have a look at that, folks, because that might save you some irritation with what memory you've got left or what storage you've got left.
Yeah. Cool. Are you right, Artif?
Yeah.
Bit of an itch there. Raj, I can't answer your question because it very much depends on exactly what you've got there. But I would probably recommend go and watch the Page Speed 2023 video. Go and look at this, the plugins and the snippets. Everything I tell you in that video, you can do for free right now. Okay. right? You can do everything for free. And what I recommend you do is you test your website on what it is now. You do a page speed insight test, but you do it 3 times. You do it again half an hour, and you do it again in an hour, because servers is always like that.
You know,
Then you make a
we've been very lazy with this question because there's so many caching type plugins out
yeah.
there, but we always stick with the SiteGrounds, whatever they give us. And I've heard it's rubbish, the SiteGround, compared to
It's
others.
not.
I don't know.
It's well, it's not rubbish.
We
It's
use it, but I don't know if it's actually
exactly.
yeah.
If
But
your
I don't know.
client's not bothered, just use it. You're
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
right, Artie. If you're not, but for Rituraj,
Can I make a
yeah,
slight
go on.
closing comment from my side? I was looking at payment options on sites and the usability of payment options like Stripe and PayPal over the weekend. I was looking at putting PayPal in and looking at the buttons that we used to use.
Oh yeah,
Folks, if you're just coming into the scene, the PayPal buttons have changed from a few years ago. And
yeah.
I sat there thinking, what? Okay, went back into Stripe, and I have to admit, probably saved myself a few hours. But if you're tempted and you look at it and you're not sure what you're looking at, Stripe is easier at the moment.
It's
Oh, changed how? How
uh,
have they changed?
it's like it's the
Currently,
interface behind the scenes. It's the whole, like, when you're setting things up.
Ah,
It's like when you um they've made it much more complex, and I feel like there's so many things you got to go through. Like,
right.
when someone buys one of our courses, I have to go in to PayPal to
Mm.
let them know that the client has definitely got that product before they release the funds. And it's such a, like, pain in the ass kind of thing. You
Oh,
got to,
okay.
and
Yeah.
you never had to do that before, but now you do. But
We had this problem with Klarna actually on a Stripe
yeah,
site where
yeah,
people were going through Klarna via Stripe, but then they maybe were not completing it, but it was showing a Stripe was completed. But actually, when you look at the Klarna, it says it's incomplete. So then the Stripe kind of gives you a success, but
yeah,
it's not really a success. And
no.
then that was yeah. So then that was a bit of an issue. People were saying, "Oh, these already you have to go in manually. It's a pain."
Right. I'm going to answer this question. I'm going to close off in a moment, but I'm going to keep this one really simple. What is the best theme for a blog website? If you're using Bricks, it's the Bricks theme. If you're using Elementor, it's the Hello theme. Because you're going to use Elementor Pro, you're going to do your loop grid, you're going to build it out to be how you want, and Bob's your auntie, your uncle, and your best friend, okay? And that's it. That's pretty much it. If you're not planning to use Elementor, Elementor Pro, or Bricks, or anything like that, if you're going to want it built for you, then just go and grab a theme or a template off, wherever, and just use what they give you. But if you want to get it to look a certain way, hello. I mean, I can tell you now, unless the theme gives you something amazingly powerful that you couldn't do yourself with a bit of time or effort with Elementor, then just stick to hello. Because every time Elementor develops, you're assuming that that theme developer is going to keep up with Elementor, and Elementor will always deprecating features and stuff. It always happens, and like, there's been times when Elementor's updated, but the Hello update was a day late. It's happened a few times, and a few websites have broke. That's why I always say wait a day or two before you update. So even with Hello, there's been the odd issue. Not many, the odd one. Imagine if you go and pay $60 for a theme, and then the developer's like, "Now I can't be bothered anymore. Now I'm going to do something else," and your entire website hinges on that theme, and you update Elemental. You're in a world of pain right now. So I would say keep it pretty clear. Right, I'm going to say goodbye to everyone. If I've missed any questions, I should be back tomorrow. I want to say big thanks to John. I want to say a big thanks to Artif. I mean, even though he came pretty damn late, don't know what he was doing for the whole day. Probably in a subway for all we know.
Cupcake, chocolate cake,
Cupcake.
pastries.
and I hope everyone's enjoying the video. We've
Yeah,
got
big shout out to Mark. Mark's on fire with these code snippets. Honestly, it's even blowing my mind what kind of things he's doing with them.
We've got more ideas. We've got more ideas brewing in the background. Like, can we create Elementor with a code snippet? No, we
Soon
can't.
he's gonna make a snippet that will replace code snippets, and then Mark is gonna start a code snippet company.
Well, like I've said before, we are eventually gonna one day crack how to create a simple CSS framework.
Yeah.
And when we do, it will be for free. It'll be a code snippet for free. All right. We're not going to charge. We're going to make you all love each other, no matter what plugin you're shoving up your belly button.
Yesterday was the chat I should have been on then to get some of these
Oh
conversations
man,
out. I missed it.
all I'm going to say is,
and I was in it.
I have to say, and I don't know if I should say this, but Jamie, he has reached. I do speak to, and he did reach out to say he really felt it that some of us did speak up to say, hey, look, we're not saying that what Jamie did was right or wrong, but we're saying there's a way of expressing yourself without making it very personal and very insulting, which is what it was, right? It just felt like, and even though neither you or me attacked any single person, there's always got to be that one guy with the baseball cap that likes to jump in and just stir things up a little bit. But we're bigger than that. We are bigger than that. Even though, depending on the size of your screen, we're probably like roughly that big. But you get the idea. All right, I'm going to say goodbye to John. Goodbye to Artif. Take care, everyone. See you all tomorrow.
Yeah.
Bye.